Welcome back to RD Cycles. Ngayon pag-uusapan natin yung gravel bike scene in the Philippines. Medyo detailed ito and medyo deep dive. So if you easily get bored with details and history, this is not the video for you. But if you're interested to know about the gravel scene, the gravel bikes here in the Philippines, and the future of gravel, stick around. Pag-usapan natin yan. So medyo deep dive ito, no? So let's start. Actually, before we start, I feel the need na magpakilala ako sa inyo. I've been doing vlogs for RD Cycles a while now, and I don't think I've ever introduced myself. I've been in the endurance community as a participant since panahon pa ng dinosaur, though. So since the late 90s, panahon pa ng dinosaur yun for most. And I've been in the sports industry since early 2000. So from a multinational company to a local company, and then ngayon into the nasa bike industry naman ako. I've seen everything, both from a participant perspective, and I've had the opportunity to join international races also. So from a global perspective, I've seen also events, and from behind the lines na minsan rumaraket din tayo minsan as a events organizer, sports events organizer, and from a retail standpoint. So yon. So kompleto tayo sa perspective. Meron tayong retail perspective, meron tayong sports organizing, and meron tayong participant perspective, both international and local participation. So yon. Now that that's out of the way, part 1, gravel history. So, okay. So ito yung mga sources na I came across, which I got information from. So of course you have a lot of influence from YouTube, gravel history, Road CC, Gravel Worlds, UCI, even yung recently Shimano gravel, yung Pro Shimano gravel race, GMBN, nandyan yan, GCN of course, and Bike Radar. So yun yung few of my sources. Okay, gravel history. So the first recorded ever na nagsimula ng gravel event is si Dirty Kanza, which is now known as the Unbound Gravel. Okay, so si Dirty Kanza, 2006 pa siya nagsimula. Tapos ngayon, mga 2 years ago, nag-rebrand sila, 2021, to Unbound. Nabili sila, hindi sila nabili, sorry, nag-rebrand sila to Unbound, and nabili sila, sponsored sila ngayon ni Garmin. Okay, speaking of Unbound, so dito makikita mo pa lang sa Unbound events nila, event crews, any bike is welcome. Hindi kailangan gravel specific. Any bike. So nandito under event rules sa baba, makikita nyo naka-highlight ng blue. Ang bawal lang is e-bike or pedal assist. Hindi lang sila allowed. Tapos dito sa Unbound Gravel 200 competition, even fat bikes are welcome. Meron ding tandem category. So meron ding non-binary category. Meron din para men and para women category. So sobrang lawak, and again dito sa Unbound or Dirty Kanza, everybody is welcome except e-bikes. Okay, so deep diving further into kay Unbound Gravel. So meron, of course, just like any event, lahat may rules. Okay, pero ang pinaka-strict sila dito, napansin ko, sobra silang detailed at sobrang laid out yung guidelines sa outside help. So bawal na bawal ang outside help if you're a participant of Unbound. Sobrang makikita nyo din dito, naka bold letters, do not rely on course markings, we will not come to rescue you, immediate disqualification and will be disqualified. So yon, everything pertaining to getting outside help and being self-sufficient. Sobrang big deal sa mga gravel events ang self-sufficiency. So doing things on your own, you're out there on your own, yun yung isa sa mga stress and emphasis ng Unbound. Okay, next is siguro sobra din silang nag-aalala sa safety ng bawat participant. Part of being self-sufficient, requirement nila dapat may headlamp and taillight ka. Tapos even drafting is allowed. So sa triathlon and in some select cycling events, bawal ang drafting. Dapat sariling sikap mo. Pero dito sa gravel, allowed ang drafting basta kapwa participant. Bawal mag-draft sa non-participant or sa support vehicle. So yun, that's Unbound. And kung 2006 nag-start si Unbound, 4 years later, 2010, lumabas naman si Gravel Worlds. Okay. So nauna yung I guess that the exact term ng gravel was coined by the events first. So if mamaya may discuss nyo rin, madi-discuss din natin, pag nag-browse kayo sa internet, marami naman gumagamit at gumawa na ng gravel bike independently. They built their own, pero at that time hindi pa gravel bikes yung tawag. So nauna, from my research na I gathered, naunang magtawag formally ng gravel event or gravel bike yung mga events. Tapos and then it went back to the brands. Tapos tsaka sila naglabas ng gravel bikes. Okay. So again, going back, 2010 Gravel Worlds was established naman. Sa Gravel Worlds, mas community-based and mas festive yung feel. I would think para siyang mga, if you're into concerts or live events, para siyang Burning Man event. Parang mga ganun yung feel and vibe pag nag-search kayo sa YouTube and sa internet. Parang yun yung feeling ng Gravel Worlds. Everybody is welcome. All shapes and sizes, all kinds of cyclists, all kinds of bikes. So again, under sa Gravel Worlds, which is the second oldest gravel event in the world, all bikes are welcome. Tapos except e-bikes or pedal assist. Tapos pero dito ina-allow din nila yung e-bikes and pedal assist kung nasa para category ka or buccaneer. Tapos yun, emphasis din na dapat may helmet, updated helmet. Bawal yung mga no old school helmet. So sa Gravel Worlds, similar to kay Unbound, they have a whole section. Ngayon, you can see it on your screen. They have a whole section na naka-detail to be self-sufficient, to be independent, at no outside help. So yun yung pinaka-common ng Gravel Worlds and si Unbound or Dirty Kansas. So ito yung merong sobrang gandang documentary about Gravel Worlds. It's ang tawag dun sa video sa YouTube is Gravel Love Letter by Pearl Izumi. So medyo mahaba siya, pero sobrang ganda kasi you will have a better perspective sa mindset ng mga gravel riders at saka from a organizer standpoint and from a participant standpoint. Okay, so ito yun, Gravel, A Love Letter by Pearl Izumi. So, isa sa mga basic appeal ng gravel events or Gravel Worlds and gravel events is that the lack of rules. Okay? Hindi sila sobrang strict. Dahil walang rules masyado, walang parameters, kailangan ganitong bike, kailangan ganitong suot, kailangan ganito yung itsura mo. Everybody was just naturally drawn to the event or to the category. Okay, next, gravel bikes naman ang pag-usapan natin. So, in case hindi niyo pa naririnig kung ano yung gravel category or ano yung gravel bike, if we were to put it in a spectrum, so you have your road cyclists with their road bikes, and you have mountain bikers and their burly, gnarly mountain bikes. Gravel is just there that sits in the middle. Siya yung in between. You are not a mountain biker and you're also not a road biker. But to be clear, if you go to any brand maghahanap kayo ng gravel bike and you wanna look for your first gravel bike, you will find gravel bike categorized under road or minsan nakaseparate talaga siya na gravel bike. But because it retained a shapes and similar silhouette sa road, most of the time, it is categorized under road. Okay? Okay. So, in terms of looks, as you can see, yun nga, yung mga ayaw mag-mountain bike, mga ayaw mag-road, but gusto nila ng bike na not so serious. So, in a nutshell, again, because I'm in the cycling industry, what was relayed to us before nung parang yung mga designers and engineers say, you know what, let's create a bike that's just purely for riding. Let's create a bike na anti-road bike, anti-mountain bike. Parang anti-system or anti-corporate or basta breaking from the norm. And they came out with the gravel bike. Yan na yan. Okay. So, what we know so far, gravel events welcome almost any bike. Okay? Any kind of bike. Except e-bikes and pedal assist. Pero so far, any bike. Okay? So, in the Philippines, nagkaroon tayo ng dalawang event. Recently, April 3, UCI Gravel World Series. Historic siya. It was the first leg and it was done here in the Philippines. It was the first leg of a World Series. Ganon siya ka-big deal. And it was held in the Philippines. Tapos, second na gravel event was the Philippine Cycling Festival Pro Gravel Race nung June naman. Dito ako nakasali. Sobrang saya and sobrang ganda ng course. And I will do it again. Okay. So, sa rules naman ng UCI, direct from the website, under bikes, riders may use any type of bike, road bike, mountain bike, city bike, hybrid bike, cross bike, etc., with the exception of tandem or recumbent bikes. Time trial road bikes are also forbidden. So, as far as the Philippine market is concerned, ito yung rules na sinet ni UCI at the time of the event was done. Will it change in the future? We don't know. Okay? But pag-uusapan pa natin yung UCI further later. Lipat naman tayo sa Philippine Cycling Festival Pro Gravel Race. Race rules. Okay, basahin natin. Bike specification. Any style of bike shall be permitted except e-bikes, road bikes, tandem, recumbent bikes, and time trial road bikes. So similar siya sa UCI Bungabon. So pareho sila nang nabanggit. Handlebars can be of any shape but must be one-piece construction with no bar ends or clip-on extension allowed. Triathlon handlebars and any other handlebar extension systems are not allowed. Tire width should be 33C minimum up to 2.4, not exceeding. So, comparing kay UCI Bungabon kanina, medyo mas strict and mas maraming guidelines si PCF Pro Gravel Race. Agree? Well, yeah, nakasulat. Kita nyo naman, mas marami silang exceptions sa rules. But, again, any bike is welcome. Any bike. Okay. So, gusto mong sumali ng gravel event. So, what bike can I use? Do I need a gravel bike? Can I build my own gravel bike? Can I convert my existing bike to a gravel bike? The short answer is yes. Okay. If you go on YouTube University, sobrang daming tutorials and DIY tips and tricks on how to convert your existing bikes into a gravel bike or monster gravel bike or monster cross. Ano na naman yung monster cross or ano naman yung monster gravel bike? Pag-usapan natin mamaya. Teka lang. Okay. So in this article that I came across back in 2014, like you said, ano naman yung monster cross, ano yung monster gravel bike? Si gravel cyclist, gravel rider siya since 2010. Siya yung picture na sa baba, naka-white na jersey. And I just noted here sa article niya, which you can also visit later on, note that the keyword in the quote, build. For this type of bicycle, every part and component needs to be specified whilst considering issues such as compatibility between components. In essence, a complete custom bicycle. So again, what is a monster cross? What is a monster gravel bike? So hindi siya mountain bike, hindi siya cyclocross bike, hindi rin siya road bike. Again, built by you, built for you. Ikaw yung gumamit, custom built siya. And nag-search din ako sa mga iba-ibang brands kung meron ba talagang monster gravel category or monster cross category. I was not able to find one. If you found one na I most likely missed it, pakisulat sa baba, paki-comment. Thank you for that additional information. But in essence, for the most part, ang nakita ko lang is gravel category with really, really big tires. Pero no brand so far has ever claimed the name or the claim na meron silang category or they built a specific bike and they called it monster gravel bike or monster cross bike. So far, none. Again, if I missed anything, paki-comment na lang sa baba, pakilagay yung link and I'll visit it also. Okay. So, ano yung monster cross? So, paano na naman yan sisingit sa spectrum na meron ka ng road, meron ka ng mountain bike, and then meron ka ng gravel bike? Dito, sa gitna ng mountain bike and sa gitna ng gravel bike, doon nila siningit yung monster gravel or monster cross. Okay. Anong itsura ng monster cross or monster gravel bike? These are two fine examples of a monster cross, monster gravel bike. Again, as the spectrum dictated earlier, they lean towards a mountain bike. And going back sa mga pinakita ko kanina, it's exactly a mountain bike fitted with gravel bike handlebars. Okay. So, can a monster gravel bike join gravel events? Yes. Short answer, yes, yes, yes. Okay? So again, if you go to YouTube University, sobrang daming tips, tricks, DIY videos that you will see na will teach you, tuturuan ka kung paano gawin, paano i-convert ang existing bike mo to a monster gravel bike. So meron pa dyan, kaka-search ko, may full suspension gravel bike. Okay? So ganun na ka-extreme and ganun na ka unstoppable, ganun ka wide yung term na gravel. Okay? So parang talagang hashtag bike is a bike. Ganun yung naiisip ko as I was searching and studying the gravel category. Parang in the end of the day, a bike is a bike. Like I said, a bike is a bike. So ganun na ganun talaga. Parang whatever shape, whatever color, whatever form, however weird looking, however monstrous, or minsan may naki-encounter pa akong term Frankenbike kasi nga parang sobrang chapso yung bike. Again, however weird looking a bike is, at the end of the day, a bike is a bike. And it's the most fun you will have in between your legs, guaranteed. Okay, now we know any bike is allowed to join a gravel event. What should I wear when I go for a gravel ride? Okay, weirdly enough, anything, kahit na pantulog mo, pagbangon mo, pwede mo na siya isuot pang gravel ride. Categorically speaking, meron ding upload si GCN dyan. Hindi requirement for a road bike ang cycling kit. Categorically, hindi rin requirement ang long sleeves, baggy shorts para makapag-mountain bike. Hindi rin required ang full face helmet na may visor sa mountain bike. Hindi siya requirement. But again, it was all born out of necessity dahil madaling gamitin, madaling isuot, from a category perspective point of view. Kaya naging ganun yung evolution ng apparel and get up ng isang mountain biker at ng isang road biker. But for gravel event, parang yun nga, as we've been talking about early on, parang it was a anti-road bike, anti-mountain bike movement na parang stick it to the man na wala akong pake, ito yung isusuot ko. But personally, locally, napapansin ko, it's mostly dry fit polo, cycling shorts sa ilalim, baggy shorts is optional. Tapos, the louder the design, the more graveler or the gravelier, the more gravel you look, mas legit ka na gravel rider. Again, those are just observations. Again, hindi rin siya requirement. Anything you like. But if you need further guidelines, again, sa YouTube University, you can find it all. So kung kailangan mo ng guidance, paano magmukhang biker nang hindi ka sobrang hardcore mukhang biker, meron mga video tutorials din dyan. Okay, last part, gravel bike scene in the Philippines, the future of gravel. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, so far, dalawa pa lang ang gravel events natin sa Philippines. Noong April, yung UCI, and noong June, Philippine Cycling Festival. I heard from the industry people and the organizing side, magmamount sila ng more gravel events in the Philippines. I personally am excited for that. I will make up a point na makasali ako kasi ang ganda ng course. It's a dahil more of XC and off-road triathlon yung pinanggalingan ko. I find it more doable, mas na-appreciate ko yung scenery, mas relaxed yung pacing, and overall at my age range, sobrang nag-enjoy lang ako sa gravel riding, and I plan to do more. Okay, so balik naman tayo sa isa pang source, kay Bike Radar. So ang gravel racing from a global perspective, may 3 subcategories. Okay, so meron tayong single stage na gravel events. Yan yung nangyari sa Bungabon and sa Clark. So yan yung single day race. Meron din tayong multi-stage gravel events. So ito yung mga siguro parang everyday may checkpoint. Parang ODAX type, I guess. Everyday may checkpoint. Tapos dapat may makover kayo na certain mileage everyday until ma-reach nyo, matik nyo lahat ng destination dun sa passport nyo. And then lastly, for the speed demons, meron din Grind Duro. So Grind Duro is a enduro style gravel race. Tapos meron kayong points, tapos you ride for speed. So ito, I guess medyo mas yun nga, for the speed demons, may mga tao din, may mga riders din talaga naghahanap ng competitive edge within the gravel community. Okay. So why we love gravel racing, why people love gravel racing is that it's thrilling, it's fun, everybody's welcome, walang bike restrictions, kahit ano pwede mong isuot. Tapos yun nga, everybody's welcome. Pero note natin dito, yun nga, noong 2021, nag-declare si UCI na papasukin na nila yung gravel category. Okay. More on that later. But ngayon, ito lahat, again, nakalagay lang dito sa article, lahat ng bikes welcome sa gravel category. Ngayon, sa big corporate UCI, I'm sorry, hindi ko minimi na katakutan niya yung UCI or kainisan niya yung UCI. But there is a good portion in the cycling community na hindi naman masyadong UCI fan. But UCI kasi is the oldest and the biggest governing body in the sport, okay? So they are present in almost every kind of cycling event in the world. Again, sila yung parang gold standard kasi. Kaya yung mga ibang bike nakikita nyo na UCI certified, may sticker na UCI certified or UCI legal. Ibig sabihin nun, if you buy a bike with a UCI sticker, ibig sabihin nun, pwede automatically your bike is legally qualified sumali sa mga UCI sanctioned events. Okay. So, UCI is Union Cycliste International. I hope I pronounced that right, but you know, Pinoy naman tayo. They are the oldest and biggest governing body in the sport. They've been around since 1900 naman, di ba? 122 years old na sila. Tapos yung headquarters nila nandun sa Switzerland, kung saan ginagawa yung Toblerone. Used to be, ngayon hindi na exclusive ang Toblerone sa Switzerland. So anyway, dahil pumasok na si UCI dyan sa gravel event, the gravel landscape was changed. Well, akala nila was changed, but yung first leg ng gravel event dito sa Philippines, dahil si UCI was known to be strict sa rules or maraming mga pinagbabawal. Ang daming nagtanong anong klaseng may tire clearance ba, may tire limitation, etc. Ang daming tanong, pero in the end, dahil first leg pa lang siya, wala. Nakita nyo naman kanina, diniscuss natin sa rules, walang restrictions yung UCI. Okay. Itong video na to, which I also came across sa YouTube, was very helpful. So if you're curious about gravel history and the gravel scene in general, I recommend you watch this guy, yung history of gravel bikes. So in the US, there are 6 major gravel events. Number 1 is Dirty Kanza, or now known as the Unbound Gravel, known for their elevation gain and headwinds, nasty headwinds. Next is the Belgian Waffle Ride, Hell of the North, more road and some dirt tracks. Tapos next is Rebecca's Private Idaho, featuring gnarly tracks of Idaho. Tapos next is in Mid-South, also known na ngayon, ang tawag sa kanya before it was called Land Run 100, ngayon ang tawag na sa kanya is Mid-South. Features the red dirt of Oklahoma and bad weather. Next is the Barry-Roubaix. Barry-Roubaix started in 2007. 1 year later lang kay Dirty Kanza. Okay? With a small group of to kick off cyclocross season. Sorry sa maling spelling. And lastly, yung pinakabago, ngayon recently lang na-mount, Steamboat Gravel. Tapos, ano daw siya, it's a clear signage and kaya siya gusto dahil medyo premium daw yung feel, may mga clear signages, clear directions, and tons of support tent. Tapos may mga cash prize pa for top finishers. So, feeling ko in the future, ang magiging benchmark is si Steamboat Gravel. Eventually, kasi there will always be some people na who will be drawn to a more premium feel event. Pero hindi mawawala yung yung bigger population na who will opt for a community event na parang Dirty Kanza or Unbound Gravel. Among these events, ang pinakamalaki according to the video was si Barry-Roubaix in terms of participation. And si Barry-Roubaix yung pinakamaraming pumupunta. Short story lang sa Barry-Roubaix. Si Barry-Roubaix, yun nga, nag-start sila with a small group of friends to kick off yung cyclocross season. Tapos every year, dagdag sila ng leg hanggang lumaki yung coverage nung binabike nila in terms of gravel route. So ngayon, yun nga, to date, formal event na siya, and it's the most attended gravel event in the world as stated sa video. Okay, so in the Philippines, so in my head, I'm imagining, no, since we are hindi naman actually, since the whole world is parang kung ano yung prevailing trend in the US or Western market, eventually it trickles down globally. Okay, it's for the better kasi in the end panalo naman tayong lahat. Ibig sabihin marami tayong event na pagpipilian. Okay, so ongoing na yung one-day gravel race. It's been done. So nakadalawa na tayo this year. In the future, dahil nandito naman sa Philippines yung Xterra. Xterra is an off-road event, open water swim, tapos may mountain bike leg, 1.5 kilometer open swim, 30 kilometer na mountain bike, and then 10 kilometer na trail run. So with the presence of Xterra, with the existence of Xterra, feeling ko somewhere in the world may maglalabas din ng Xterra type of event, pero instead of mountain bike, gravel bike na yung gamit nila. Okay. Tapos next is Grinduro. So bakit ko na-foresee na magkakaroon ng Grinduro? Kasi marami na tayong continually dumadami na yung enduro events natin dito. Actually, maganda yung enduro is also helpful sa tourism natin dahil it's being done in different provinces. Tapos mountain bikers flock to these provinces. Tapos syempre, hotel booking, tapos kakain sila. It's sort of a family vacation na rin for some. So maganda yung Grinduro na magkaroon din tayo dito. Tapos fourth, multi-day gravel ride covering long distances. So meron na rin tayong ODAX Philippines. So eventually, maganda kasi ang Pilipinas. Eventually, magkakaroon na rin tayo ng ODAX type of multi-day gravel riding. Epic Race. Epic Race, ito medyo iffy pa ako, pero nagkaroon na rin kasi tayo sa Philippines ng ganitong format. Multi-day na multi-sport event. So run, kayak, mountain bike, tapos hike type of event, all rolled into one event. So if easily papalitan mo lang yung mountain bike event ng gravel riding. Kasi nga, dahil gravel bikes are built for comfort and to cover long distance, so mas definitely applicable and mas practical gamitin ang gravel bike sa ganitong klaseng event. Tapos next, similar to Grinduro, pwedeng less competitive, pero I feel merong isang gravel brand or gravel event na mag-rise to the top of the ranks. Tapos yung parang Ironman Philippines na type. Feeling ko may lalabas na ganyan. Tapos it will be held in different provinces in different parts of the Philippines, promoting sports tourism din. So yan yung mga na-foresee ko na mangyayari dito sa events natin sa Philippines as far as gravel scene is concerned in the Philippines. Okay. Alright, that's the end of it. Sorry, sobrang haba, pero I hope you enjoyed. If you think this video was helpful, please give us a like, share, subscribe. Maraming salamat. I appreciate your time.